institute to bring in? Do we need some more inputs in sociology? Do we need more inputs in, in the spirit of management? Do we need more inputs in economics and understanding of those dimensions? These are questions that came up. What are the intellectual abilities that we want to strengthen, and how do we do it? And we are not saying that take a design program and make it into something PhD program. No, that cannot be done. There's an undergraduate level, there's a postgraduate level. How do we differentiate these two programs from one another and not become a replication of trying to do 2.5 years, try and take a non-designer and make him into a designer in 2.5 years, and the other one you have a longer program of 4 years or so and do the same thing. How do you differentiate these two? This is one of the questions there's no simple answer. The same questions exist at NID, it exists at NIFT, and I'm sure at MIT and Srishti and many other schools in India, but I think each one will find their own answer. But I think here we are looking at the craft sector and how do we move that forward. We also had an occasion, because of this curriculum discussion, to go on to discuss our own experiences with other curriculum at NID, at NIFT. How does IICD truly differentiate itself from these other institutions, or do we offer the same? Is that what the country needs? Is that the opportunities? Where do we bring that uniqueness to an institution? Because finally, where is the value? When we say we need to change, we don't want to throw out the baby with the bathwater. There is value in what we are doing, and people are already valuing it. Like there is the recent reports which I have seen about Indian design, all of them mention IICD by name. So it is not that we are talking about just general craft sector needs something. They are saying, like IICD we need something, but what is it that they are seeing in it? So we need to recognize and take a pulse of that. So when we change, we don't lose some of those valuable, values that are embedded over the last 15-20 years of experimentation, because it's especially important because faculty have changed, and that will continue to happen. New people will come in, old people will move out, opportunities in design and many related activities are growing. And we would encourage people to, join industry, go on and build their own careers and so on. But at the same time, the value system within the institution need to be in a continuous growth path, which is where documentation is important. And how do you articulate it? So I would urge the faculty to be encouraged through administrative policies and so on, to maybe maintain their own blogs, build their own, because they have their own personal view, but they'll also have institutional view. As long as there's no conflict of interest, there is no policy barrier in that. Other institutes may have other policies, but I think here, being a small group, you can experiment a lot. So why not, and build that forward? Because when you're a large university, you need to make watertight rules. Here you don't need to have such watertight rules, because if somebody deviates a little bit, you can always catch that person and tell him, bhai sahab, aap jo galat raaste pe ja rahe ho, you can come back on. So you don't need hard and fast boundary so that it's ironclad rules, but we can have norms and processes that will drive people and to experiment and build forward, because many of the things we need to innovate and take forward. We also looked at the number of semesters and the matrix of teaching and learning tools that have been evolved. And I think this articulation is very important. And I hope you are sharing that today. Is it in the set?
It is.
It is there. So we can actually, in the individual groups, because what does soft material mean? Because some discussion also happened on that. Because they ask for rationale of what are these teaching and learning strategies. So I think here I would like to emphasize that we are actually looking at not just empowering faculty to teach, but also to create an academic climate where real learning takes place. Because learning by doing, this is one of the mandates that is not easy to follow. Because many times people fall back and say, "Aapne kya sikhaya?" "Aapne kya sikha?" That is something that, what have you learned? What are the insights that you have gained? Because when you go to a crafts person and you sit with them, he's not teaching you. But you learn by observation. You learn provided you are sharp and you kept your alert faculties around you, and you pick up things and then you test it in new prototypes and new ideas and so on. So I think I would urge the experts to look at both these things, that both you look at teaching methods, facilities, tools, processes and so on, as well as look at learning strategies that could be made available to students in terms of exposure, visits to exhibitions and fairs, visits to conferences, participation, and many other things. So I think these are important that we flag all these things so that policy makers of the institute will follow what you say. Otherwise, faculty may keep on crying, we want this, we want this, we want this, but maybe somebody is not listening. We are not listening as members of governing council, members of the, and start counting money, without looking at the larger benefits that may emerge from it. So if you find something is missing, please say so, that we can record it and take it forward and represent it at many levels. Because even administration, we are not promising that everything will be done overnight. It cannot be. We all know the limitations of process, but the urge is that being open, we want to say that yes, we will make an effort to find the money for it. We will find the policy framework that will empower, enable all these changes to take place. And that is the kind of confidence that IICD wishes to show today, and we want to take it forward. And also, very important is to identify areas of opportunity and how we can connect with those opportunities that you see. Within each of your domains you will find, I think I'm happy to see that we have somebody from the digital universe who now already built an e-commerce network, and we want to learn from you, sir, that how we can, enable and empower our students to help many such enterprises to come up. We're not only promising to give you people, but also to create your competition and to build, the whole country. It requires maybe 1,000 different players, each one looking at the, universe of craft in different way, and so on. These are discussions that have been happening. And how can you, empower and enable this? I think one of the things that came up was I was very, very impressed yesterday, and I'm also internal person, I shouldn't be boasting about this, but I was impressed by the documents that have come out. The few documents which have been shown here. One is the Stonecraft of India. I think it is immediately put this institute in a class of world-class universities which publish. Not many universities. I take 1,000 India, hundreds of Indian universities which have not produced a single book to date. Although they encourage their faculty to write with other people, but to be your own publisher and to release something is a great achievement. And so I'm sure many of us see, like this, but the opportunities are thousands more, because you're sitting on many more documents which we have to find ways to reach out. And I think here the web is certainly a way, and along with the web, empowering and enabling policies that will allow faculty to reach this material quickly into the hands of those who need it, as including institutions and their competition. Because it doesn't matter if somebody picks up, the country will benefit from it. But the benefit will come, like I have learned from my own blog, that the second generation and third generation returns are far bigger. And I used this example that MIT in the US took a policy decision and put out all their teaching resources free online, and they put it up for 2 years. Hundreds of papers, hundreds of teaching notes, material, things like that. 2.5 years after they started this initiative, they got an endowment of $75 million from somebody who said, you guys are doing a great job, here is the money. So you never know what will happen. I'm not promising that you'll get this kind of return, but if you build your reputation, I'm sure that the returns will follow. So instead of trying to collect all these things and like some other groups may be trying to do, let us protect our IPR very tightly till somebody pays, we won't release a single paper. Maybe the opposite policy in the new world of liberal, open, transparent kind of world. Open source is one of the words that come up.
Can I interrupt you?
Yes.
This is it. Because the Forex is a body, Handicraft Association, they have kept an award. Whosoever institute makes a good documentation will give an award yearly. That's what recently we have.
So we should file, all your documents should be submitted for that.
That's what I wanted to announce.
Great.
Recently we have, and I agree 100% with this.
I will not take too much of your time. In fact, we would like to get all your ideas and suggestions. But since Dr. Bharadwaj has given me this task, I was going through, I made some side notes on my notes, saying that from there I am reading out. Actually, so I am going in the same sequence in which we had done. Basically, we need to look many of these issues that come up in each of the departments that are coming up. The issues of how do we find students, how do you excite them to come. Earlier there were complaints saying that okay, people who don't get in NID, don't get in NIF, then they try to come here. But now, more recently, the situation seems to be changing. They're saying, I want to work in craft, I want to work in this sector. People are coming specifically because you are offering both quality as well as thing. How do you strengthen that? How do you send this message out? How do you attract more of those people? And this whole, I want to say that this Artisans Ward program, which has got scholarship support from the Ambuja Education Foundation as well as from Chhattisgarh, the state government, and from some NGOs, is one way forward, where you are targeted to specific groups of people. But I think we need variety of people. We need people who would want to come and do PhD here, to do research type of projects here. Is IICD flexible to accommodate some of those people? And I know that some policies are being drafted, and you'll have an occasion to hear about some of these new policies which are path-breaking for any institution for that, and some attempts is being made. We are also eager to listen to any such ideas where if there is a bottleneck, we would like to correct it and build it. What is the kind of directions needed in the area of faculty development itself? What does it mean to have faculty who will grow continuously on a regular basis? And this is something, it's not faculty asking for development, but what does the institution actively do to see that this kind of group can grow? There was some discussion yesterday on these aspects. And so we're not only looking at students, we are looking at students, their needs, how they will pass through the institution, what kind of facilities they get to grow. Also the faculty who come here, they are players in their own right, and they would need to be strengthened and empowered to be able to do it. The issues in each of the areas require different types of things. There are needs for data banks of experts and people. So those of you who are here, we will be happy to invite you to stay connected with the institution on an ongoing basis, so that we will also create a way in which we can do it. Whatever is convenient for you, this is the kind of thing we need to build. There have been a lot of work in areas like the levels at which, for instance, how the question that came up, how do you build an orientation program and a foundation for a diverse group of people who come in at the PG level? Because they come in from different backgrounds. They're coming in from chemistry, physics, management and so on. They want to enter into craft and design or craft and marketing and so on. How do you create that? How do you create thing? And in this case, there are also opportunities that came up, again coming back to documentation. There was a course that was conducted that produced a wonderful document. Yesterday, the Basav Raju's course that showed, I don't think that example is here. Is it here? Just hold it up, please. Yeah, that one produced the thing. Now there is one of few copies of this have been produced. But how does this reach to a wider audience? One suggestion that came up was digitally having it available on the website, and also downloadable and self-printing kind of possibility. You download it, print it yourself.